Yes, greetings, gentlemen. So now we're on the AutoCAD screen, right? At this stage, what you don't want to do is make sure your drawing is saved as your full name and your class. You want to make sure that you set up your layers. You go layer property, set up your different layers, phantom line, object line, set up layers. If you have not done this, you can check back to the classroom on Google. You will see all the information there, set the limits and your units. Now after you set up your drawing sheet, you're ready for do some drawing. The first drawing we're going to do is creating our border and title block. Now, for us to do this, you have to go through the work and given on your Google Classroom, which speaks to paper size and the various size pages that we use. For now, we're going to use A3 size. For fifth form, we use A2. A2 is basically 22 inches by 17 inches. A3 is ledger or tabloid size, which is 11 inches by 11 by 17. Right. So all of these notes will basically explain the different size papers and what they're used for and how you arrive at them. So these are the two major sizes we use in technical drawing for high school. A2 is for fifth form, A3 is for fourth form. So this is the measurement that you're going to use to draw your title block, your border. And then your for your border and then the title block we'll use the standard measurement of 50 by 110 for each space that you're writing. 343. Alright, good. Now we can see that the measurement in inches is 11 by 17, but in millimeters it is 297 times 420. So this measurement is what we'll be using to form the box. So we go back to CAD, then we form the box. So the measurement is 297 by 297 by 420. So 297 by 420. We can do it by drawing lines or using a rectangle. And it says here, specify corner point, chamfer, fillet thickness. So for the rectangle, I would like to specify my endpoint, then click dimensions. And now for dimensions, I'd basically type in, it says specify length of rectangle. So length is 420. 4, 4, 420, enter. And it says specify width. And the width would be 420 by 297. 297, enter. And that's it. The rectangle is formed. Another way you could do it is by using line to draw the rectangle. Ensure ortho is turned on so you get straight lines. So it's 420, enter, 297, enter, 4, 420, enter, and then connect. So that's two ways you could do to draw a rectangle or draw using lines. Then we create our title block, which would be this here, title block. So this is the border, this would be the title block. So the title block can be created by using 100 length by 50 high. So we type 100, enter, go up by 50, 50, enter, then go back all the way out to 100. Good. Now, after we have the outline of the title block, we need to break all of this up into um, five title blocks of 10 to completely form the title block. So 5 rows of 10, basically 10 millimeters. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So how we do that now, we use a command called offset. Now offset is basically a music group, but in AutoCAD, but in AutoCAD, offset is a function or a command which is used to lay a line at a particular distance from the next one. So you get lines to step off a particular distance that are a specified distance from the other. So we want to step off 10. So you can either click this option here or type it in because it's a command based software. So offset, boom, type 10 millimeters, enter, and click the original object and then point in the direction that you want it to go. So I don't want it at the top, I want it below. So down, click again, click on it, then click again, click on it, click again, click on it, click in the empty space. And now I have all of them. So now that I have this is construction line. So I want to change it to my border line. So I'll find the layer that says border or object line and change it to that. So basically changing that to border. Boom. Now that I have the border, I need now the guidelines for which I will write between. So your guidelines. Now to get the guidelines, you can do the same thing. You offset from these lines 3 millimeters, and then you'll have 4 in the middle, because 3, 4, and 3 gives 10. So 3 from here to here, and 3 from here to here, and 4 in the middle, and that will give you 10. So we'll do offset and type 3 millimeters, enter, then step off 3 and step off 3. So we have 4 in the middle. All right, do the same thing for this one. Step off 3, step off 3, enter, enter, step off 3, 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 3, and 3. And then if we measure it, we'll see that we have 4 in the middle. See, 4 millimeters. And I use this dimension tool, or you can use distance, di, to measure something. Di, distance, and click from one point to the next point. And it tells you that it is 4. See, distance equal 4. Good. And if you want area, same thing. area, area, enter. And you can select all of the area. And it will tell you what the area is. You press enter. The area is 5,000 millimeters, or 300 perimeter. Good, so that's it. Now you want to change these guidelines to construction lines, right? So that construction lines are usually thinner and has a less line weight. If I turn on line weights, which is this one, based on what I set up in my layer properties, my line weights will show these line thick and those thin. See? So I want to change all of these to construction thin lines. So basically how I do that is use a function or a command called match properties. It is not up here, so what I'll do is basically type that one in. So the shortcut for match properties is MA, or you can try to type the word match properties. So MA, and see, match properties, click match properties, then select the source object, which is this one, and then you click on all the other ones that you would like to change. So the paintbrush here suggests that you will paint the properties of these ones onto the others. So here, 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 here. Ensure that you don't trouble it. Don't change the wrong ones. Boom, boom. All right, and that's it. So there I have it, my border and title block. So now the part here, take 25 here and part it 25, enter. So I can write name, date, grade. And to get your words here now, this big A or text gives you an option to write a single line text or multi-line text. So this, you can write a paragraph here using this one, or a single line using, or a single line of text or a sentence using this one. So we'll go ahead and write text. So you click A, you get to specify the text box. So you click a point, stretch your text box, it gives you the option to write. So you write name, all caps, all every time, name, boom. You notice it comes up really small. So this is two, see, it's right here and it's very small. So what I do is basically zoom in on it and scale it. This function is referred to as scale. Scale is somewhere here. What if I scale. Where is that here? Anyways, I can just type it in. If it challenges this here, this is scale, right? So you can either click it here or type it in. I usually use the shortcut. So SC for shortcut for scale, scale, then click at one point, and then you can get the word to become bigger, right? As big as you want or small as I want it. But for more control over what size it is, I usually use scale by reference. So notice here in the command line it says specify a scale factor. So you can type 2, 3, or 4. So it becomes 2 times the size, 3 times the size, 4 times the size, or whatever scale you want. But I usually use reference. Click reference, then click any 2 point. 1, 2, and then you have more control over how big it gets. Now you can move it into, use move, this command is move, or type M, enter, move, and you move it into the position, right? So that's name, and then I just copy this now, copy, and paste it all over, so I can then edit it each time instead of scaling a word every time. So basically name, my name is Delroy Garrison, so I write that here. DELROYGARRISON, and then I stretch this out so that it becomes one sentence, one line. Boom. Oh, this is not in line, so I can move it again a little bit, right, to get it more balanced between the guidelines. Pull it up a little bit. Good. There you have it. So now what I can do is copy this all the way through to form the different information that I'd like to provide. So this is name, date, class, topic, or title, and scale. For now, our scale will be 1:1. So we change the scale to double click, allows you to edit. Change the scale to 1:1, 1:1. Title is title block, border and title block, because that's the first thing that we're doing. So whatever drawing you're doing, isometric projection, you change the title to isometric, to oblique, you change it to oblique. Whatever the topic is you're doing, that's what you work with. So this is title block and border. So border and title block, and this is your first activity. Border and title block, and then this one's class 4 pool 3, 4 pool 1, 1/3. Date is whatever date you're doing this on, but before the due date today. Good. Now after you have done this, you have now created your 11:17 or A3 title block. What you do, this is an A2 title block, so this is twice the size of this one. So fifth form we use this one. For now we're using this one. Alright. What we'll normally do is when you're submitting your work, you would copy the activity that you have done, paste it within the sheet, then submit the sheet with the title and everything and the activity on it. So let me show you how you would submit your work now. Submitting classwork. Basically, what you do is when you're finished drawing and all your drawing is in here, you would submit like this. So the first thing you're expected to do is just a title block and border. I expect you to submit to me first. To submit this page and not everything on the sheet, you would basically click this plotting icon here. It's a printer. For regular Microsoft Word and other software, we say print, but for CAD, we say plot because we usually use bigger printers or plotters. So we plot, come to this page, right? So we set up this page now. So ensure that here says monochrome CTB, which is black and white. If you change it to any other color, you'll get some colors, and we don't want the colors. We just want it in black and white with your line weight and everything. So black and white, monochrome CTB, boom. Yes. Then here, leave this as none. Here, printer plotter plot from DWG, which is drawing file, to PDF. So drawing file to PDF or AutoCAD to PDF, general documentation. So any of these, this one or this one. So drawing to PDF, then you change the size here. Notice this is A class paper, but it is 8.5 by 11, which is letter size. So what we want to choose is the size paper that we made the border for, which is 11:17 or 8:3. So 11:17 is here, ANSIB 11:17 or 17:11. I'm sure you could look for the A1, the A class paper. See, there's A2, here's A1, and A3, here's A3, which is the same thing as that we just used. So we can use 11:17 down here in feet and inches, but because we're using millimeters, you can choose the A3 paper up here, ISO standard, because Arch E is a different standard used in different parts of the world. ANSI is American National System of International Measurement or something of that sort, and ISO is International Standards Organization. So these different people have different system of measurement. Some use feet, some use inches, but we're working with millimeters, so we use the A3 paper, which is here. And notice This one is landscape. If you choose the top one, which is A3, the top one, it is portrait, right? So we want it to be landscape because the drawing sheet is landscape. So we choose the top one. Good. This is A4. No, it should be A3. A3, top one. A3. Boom. Right. Center the plot, fit to paper, and display is here. So instead of display, we put window. Window, draw exactly over the border. Boom. And preview. And that is what you have. Now this is what you will submit to me. You will save this page and submit it to me as your first assignment. And every assignment after that, this is exactly what you do, and your drawing would be within the page. Alright, so basically everything is set, landscape, everything is looking good. So we press OK, and it gives you an option to save it. So this could be classwork 1. And then you upload, save it to my desktop. As a matter of fact, let me save it to your class folder. Class folder is Jamaica College, AutoCAD 2020, and this is classwork number 1. Alright, save. And there you go. You would send this now, you would submit this to your Google Classroom, or if it's a case where you email me, you'd email this file to me, and I will mark your work like this rather than in the AutoCAD drawing. Good, good.